Welcome. So today I'd like to look into the wrists. So we're going to start with a small warming up exercises and mobilization of the joints. So fold your hands together, cross the fingers, put the root of your hands together and circle. So make some gentle circles, and you can do this exercise sitting on a chair, sitting on the floor, or standing. If you do standing, you build up a little bit more condition through carrying your weight with your legs. So gently circle with the wrists, and it's not about making the biggest possible movement. It's just about a gentle mobilization, finding the flexibility and the movement that is possible in that joint. And then change direction. And maybe do that in total for 5 minutes. So maybe you can pause this video and then do this for quite some time. And then the next step is letting go of the root of the hands, but keeping the fingers interlaced. So making a little bit bigger circle. You get more freedom in the wrists. So still circling and finding a nice smooth movement, your own timing. And again, doing that for a couple of minutes. So if you want to pause and do this for a while, you just do that. And then changing direction, moving the wrist, getting maximal flex and stretch in the wrist, but still keeping it soft, don't putting too much effort on it. Make sure your elbows are not glued to yourself, but nice and loose. And then starting to move a little bit further with this movement into the elbows, and not totally in the shoulders, but having a little bit more motion, so you feel also that it's doing something. The back of your shoulder blades, that they're starting to slide along your spine and rubbing the muscles on the back. And then changing direction. So engaging the elbows, a little bit more of the arm. And again, if you want to do this for a little while longer, just pause the video. Next step, we're going to really take the shoulders with us. So we started with this movement, and this is still based on the same movement. Maybe my fingers move a bit, as little less interlaced. And I'm trying to see how, starting in the wrists, this actually starts to include the whole of my arm and my shoulder, and change direction. And see how fast, how slow you want to do this. Try to find a nice flow, make it round, continuous movement. Have your knees gently bent. Feel that your hips and knees are staying stable, while the rest is gently circling around. And relax. Just have your arms hang. Feel what that's done for your wrists, shoulders, arms, or any other part in your body. And then bring both hands in front of you about 10 centimeters from your body, in a kind of a gentle, rounded posture, with the index finger slightly pointing to each other. So my fingertips are not pointing forward, they're slightly pointing to each other. And then imagine you're holding two tennis balls and you're circling. If you want, you can grab two tennis balls or grab two pairs of socks so you have something in your hands to hold. And just circle your wrists, whatever direction. So if you're doing the opposite direction than me, don't worry, as we will change later on. Now what I try to do is only move the wrist and not move the elbow. So the elbow stays really still and I move the wrists slowly, and I try to get, without putting too much effort, get the maximum extreme stretches, flex and stretches in my wrist. If you want, you can do it with two fists, which puts a bit more of a stretch on the wrist. Yeah? But just the arms, fingers open, as if holding something, will do. And then change direction. And you will find maybe one direction you have a preference for and the other one is more difficult to make a nice, neat circle. And that's just a matter of practicing. So if I would let the elbows move with my wrist motion, it totally destabilizes all the support I can give myself around the shoulder. So this is also a very good exercise for strengthening and stabilizing the shoulder area. So can I move my wrists and keep this whole area connected and stabilized? If you do this with a little bit of resistance in the fingers, so imagining you're moving through something thick, like a thick liquid or something that's thicker, heavier than air, you will probably feel that some muscles here and further between your shoulder blades might activate. And that's because I'm keeping my elbows from moving. If I do this, then all the muscles around that give the support to my shoulder, they become sloppy. Okay, next stage, we change direction, but we alternate the movement of the wrist. So they are both moving, they're both doing this inward circle, but they're just on another part of the circle at another moment. Again, the challenge is to keep the elbows from moving. Challenge is to keep having a continuous flow, to be soft. Actually, this is a kind of a way of multitasking. Spreading your focus and surrendering to simultaneous movement in two parts of your body. To practice this, you can also, of course, put a sheet of paper in front of you, have two pencils, and just draw circles. Make nice, colorful circles on the sheet of paper. Again, keeping your elbows stabilized, trying to build up the support and the connection around your shoulders, and then change direction. And it's interesting to look whether your fingers are doing some funny stuff during the circles, or if you can keep them kind of there but relaxed. So that's why I said it's handy sometimes to just hold something real in your hands, so to give your fingers something to do. Then you're actually giving content to the palms. So circling, alternating. And come to stillness. And just stand for a little bit here, bringing your focus to the back side of your body, having a little bit more weight into the heels, having soft knees, having relaxed arms. Feel what you have done for your wrists. Feel the effect it has elsewhere in your system. So as we get older, for some of us, really the wrists or the fingers or the ankles or the toes are really some of the joints who get arthritis or all kinds of discomfort. So those are very important joints to keep on activating the circulation, to keep strengthening and supporting, because we use them a lot. You stand, you walk on your feet your whole life. You use your arms, your fingers, your wrists to do all kinds of daily activity. And again, if you want to stand like this for longer, for 10 minutes or 20 minutes, just pause the video and do so. And then bring your hand palms together. And I'd like to do a small introduction on all the supporting muscles around the shoulder area. And I'd like, this is a very simple, just experiential exercise to get aware of some of those muscles. So first press the root of your hands together and feel which parts in the rest of your body, which muscles are engaging into this pressure. And relax. Now one more time, press in the root of your hand palms very slightly and then at the center of your hand. And just see what happens to the muscles that engage into this activity. And relax. And then again start with the root, the center of the hand, and then add the fingertips. And just keep the pressure for a little while. And relax. Now just keep the right hand there, put the other one on your lower belly, and imagine that the other hand's still there, though it's not there anymore. And see how it feels to push, and can you still engage all three parts of the hand? As if I'm pushing the air, and the air's pushing back. And I'm actually imagining that I'm pushing something like a wall, but it's invisible. So it's something much heavier than the air. And can you feel a similar tension in the supportive muscles for this activity? And relax. And then bring both hands together again and push the roots of the hand together, center of your palms and your fingertips. And relax. Change hands. And again, imagine you pressing here on something. So you can't do this. There's something that stops you from pushing through. And feel if you can engage the supporting muscles for this action. And relax. So I hope you discovered some muscle activity around here, even if it's vague and difficult to describe for you, just a sensation. Now those muscles, not only do they activate when we push, but they can activate also when we pull. And for some of us it's easier to sense them when we push, and for some of us it's easier to sense when we pull. So we'll do the pulling. So have your hand palms together, and now try. So you imagine somebody's holding your hands together, and you're trying to pull the roots of your hands away from each other. But you can't because somebody's holding your hands together. You pull hard, hard, hard sideways. And hold it for a couple of seconds and relax. Now again, imagine somebody's really holding your hands tight. Try to pull the roots of your hand together and the center of your hand. Pull them outwards. And keep pulling. So the tension accumulates and builds slowly because you keep doing the activity. And relax. And one more time, pull your hands apart, but you can't because somebody's holding them, starting with the root of the hand, then the center, and then the fingertips. Try to pull them apart. Keep it, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. And relax. Now again, one hand on your lower belly. We're gonna try the same with only one hand. So you imagine something's keeping you from moving that hand. If there's nothing I can do this, I imagine resistance, the opposite direction. So imagine the resistance and pull the whole of your hand away. And feel if you can sense some activity around your shoulder. And relax. One more time. Pull your arm away, your hand away, and relax. And then change. So try to imagine the contrary dynamic, and you're pulling this way. And relax. One more time. Pull your hand away. Feel the muscles becoming supportive and active. And relax. Now bring back your hands as if on a table. And imagine that you want to pull them away and that you want to pull them together. And somebody's just holding them in place. Somebody's holding your hands in place, you want to move them this way, you want to move them that way. So you want to move them inwards and outwards, but both directions are stuck. So what I'm doing now, I'm creating restrictions to engage some inner dynamics. So I can develop those supportive muscles by moving out, moving in, moving out, moving in, like you do when you're swimming. And that's why swimmers have a very developed upper back, like this. So by repeated motion, with certain effort or resistance, you develop those muscles, but you can also develop them by doing a static exercise and recreating the restrictions. So I imagine the resistance. I can make it as light or as heavy as I want, the resistance, and I try to pull my arms outwards and I try to pull my arms inwards. And then I feel that a certain supporting muscle activity around my shoulder area is starting to develop. And in the beginning, it's maybe a little bit rough until it becomes really like your fine motoric. So you just need to practice, maybe do too much in the beginning, then do too little, until those muscles develop a natural way of fine-tuning to really work to stabilize and support the whole upper back. And then the neck can relax, the lower back can relax. And the arms are supported in the work they have to do. And again, you can stay here for as long as you wish. And when you finish, bring your hands to your belly, rub your belly, and open your arms, breathe in and breathe out. Lengthen yourself, breathe in and breathe out. Thank you.